took drugs?" Nasha accused. "No! I'm just trying to find a reason for something I can't comprehend," Bydeseel shouted. He'd mentally searched for any reason, even an unwelcome one, but when the medical examiner suggested the possibility of drugs, Bydeseel had lashed out at the poor guy. With no other explanation, he was being forced to consider the unimaginable. Nasha crossed his arms and lifted his eyebrows in challenge. "Dark spirits walk among us." Bydeseel drew in a deep breath, willing himself to stand here until he got information. "Are you saying something like a demon got inside Sonny?" Bydeseel believed in the power of men such as his brother, Sonny, who should have been their medicine man, and Nasha, but he'd never dealt with a demonic problem. Nasha made a sound of disgust. "You look for simple answer. Some deaths have many layers." "That's not helpful at all," Bydeseel ground out. He spent time with business people who gave him straight answers, and that's all he wanted now. Nasha crossed his arms. "I am healer, not one who is supposed to see problem." His tone of dismissal said as much as him lowering his gaze to the fire did. "Come to me when you know what to heal." Fisting his fingers to keep from strangling Nasha, Bydeseel caught himself. He couldn't lose his control now. Everyone looked to him to be strong, even when his guts felt ripped out. He stomped back to his sport utility vehicle a quarter-mile away, where he'd parked it, because he dented the rim driving to this trailer the last time. His next stop would be even more difficult, which was why he'd gone to Nasha first. Another 15 minutes down the paved road, Bydeseel pulled off to think about his options. He could either call the casino office and wait for an ATV to be delivered, or take his chances driving 2 miles off-road to reach the Sears place. How Loki refused to move to the trailer with running water and utilities Bydeseel had provided for her. She lived in a primitive hogan, a dome-shaped structure covered in mud and positioned near the eastern edge of the Grand Canyon. Asking for an ATV in the middle of a Friday night would set tongues wagging when Bydeseel had to keep this contained until he had a clear indication of how Sonny's death occurred. The minute word got out without an acceptable cause, law enforcement from outside the reservation would flood in. That never went well. He'd done everything in his power to protect his clan's sense of independence. One look at Sonny, and the U.S. government would get involved. Then this would turn into a media zoo. Everyone would forget what mattered most, finding the truth of how Sonny died. Bydeseel needed to know for Sonny's benefit and to shield his people from whatever caused this. Bringing in outsiders would shut down any chance at gaining local information. Sonny would have been the first to offer help if this happened to someone else. He'd been exceptional as a person and an employee. Bydeseel tried not to regret encouraging him to push hard to get ahead. No one knew Sonny's life would be cut short. Grumbling to himself, Bydeseel engaged the 4-wheel drive on the Tahoe just to have it ready and pulled off the road, heading across the rough terrain. How Loki claimed the negative energy and electronics near the rest of the community interfered with her ability to reach beyond this world for answers. Some rolled their eyes at her claim. How Loki lacked Nasha's level of power, but she did her best, giving credit to Sonny for encouraging her to use her gifts to aid their people. She pinpointed health issues for some as physical or emotional problems, yet missed the mark for others. But not everyone believed in spiritual healing. Belief was everything. Bydeseel believed in every clan's seers and healers, even Hauloki, but no one had a magic wand. He wished Sonny had believed in his plan for the tribe and stayed to help. Instead, Sonny took his gifts thousands of miles away to a tribe in South America, where he showed them how to preserve their culture while surviving. Sonny died far from his own people. Bydeseel pushed those thoughts aside. He could only deal with one death at a time. When he reached Hauloki's hogan, he found it empty too. Damn. He had much farther to walk this time. With temps in the 80s at night in June, he shed the jacket to his business suit and replaced his wingtips with boots he kept for rough terrain.